Two Tamers Talk. We have our guest tamer in the house again tonight. What's up, Neeto?
Ew.
We are back from locals once again. Jeff is still in Taiwan. He'll be back next week. How did you do?
I went 3-1.
Nice.
I was playing Mastamon.
Okay.
I just had good games. My loss was to Blue Flare.
Ooh.
Blue Flare is a rough Mastamon matchup.
That is a menace.
It's just like there's so little you can actually do to it. It's slow. It hinders your actual Mastamon play. So instead of actually Digivolving, you have to just Digivolve and like recover one, and like they're so aggressive. It's an uncomfy matchup.
Yeah.
But I went 3-1. I beat Gallantmon, Gigimon, and Security Control.
Oh, okay. Cool. I did not do as well as you. I need to learn to shuffle better in my life. It seems like I played Machine tonight, and I'm like, I was really confident in my build. I'm still confident in the build because I've changed it a little bit. It's been super consistent because it took out a lot of the like gimmicky top end. But man, like one of my games, I just could not find Machine. And then at the end of the game, I dig through my deck, and like 4 of my last 5 cards are my Machines. And I'm just like, that is like the best cut ever. And that was a game 3 game. So brutal. But other than that, I mean, I had fun tonight. I played against some great players. I think we had 18 tonight in locals. So
It was a blast.
another great showing from the crowd. And a lot of people excited, right? Everyone's getting ready for the Beelzemon Cup this weekend. I love all the stuff that's coming out with that. Are you going to be playing in it?
I am.
Okay.
I'm playing on Saturday.
There's, I think, 4 or 5 just in our region over the weekend. And it's really cool how the shops, I don't think any of them are actually scheduled on the same day. I think it's literally from like Friday to Tuesday. There's 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So I know we have a couple players because you can only sign up for 2, I think, per TCG Plus account. So if you have more than one, there's more than one in your area, beat the system a little bit. But excited about that. Obviously, for watching this, we dropped the video yesterday, the unboxing. So
Heck yeah.
what do you think of the advanced starter deck?
I think it's super cool.
Yeah.
I like the idea of like having while all the other starter decks you can technically play them out of the box.
Yeah.
I like the idea of having a starter deck that you can purchase, take it to an event, and do fairly well.
Yeah.
You like where some of the other starter decks you might have trouble winning because there's a lot of like the cards that you need are in other decks. Most of the stuff you need for Beelzemon is right there.
Yeah, it's already there. Really cool. Also, those really cool promo cards. Really weird how they split that up, and like some are textured, some are not.
Yeah.
Some of the ones that everyone thought were going to be textured are not.
Definitely worth a check out.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be interesting too to see if people really tech in that old Beelzemon, because the starter deck is 54 cards by itself. And then, of course, you get the 2 Itmons, the 2 EX. I think you fit those in somewhere, right? And I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how many people actually play Beelzemon in the Beelzemon Cup. Do you think people are going to like go crazy on that, or do you think people are going to just play like Mervaloop or
I think we're actually going to see like a good number of Beelzemons because like Beelzemon's an all purple deck that still has a ton of support. I think the decks we're going to see the most are decks that have just genuine like high number of support. Beelzemon being one of those decks that just has, between EX2 and this starter deck and BT2, you have plenty of support, and there's plenty of good cards to where like the Beelzemon's going to play just fine,
and it's
especially in a
all
format like
non-purple.
that.
I think the only I think a couple of the decks I've seen, if they're running any non-purple cards, it's probably Youth, maybe. But it's like the deck doesn't need anything that's not purple to run.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Doesn't need a level 7. If it does, you can still play Death X. It's not Ultimate Cup. You can play Death X.
Or Blast Mode.
Yeah. And you'll have 2 of them. So pick your poison, right? Still both equally nasty. My biggest thing is for people, though, is like we have a lot of people in our locals that are not purple players at all, but they're really competitive and they want to play in all these events. So what do you think the easiest deck is going to be for people that don't play purple to just pick up and bring to this tournament?
I think Beelzemon.
You think so?
Beelzemon's fairly straightforward. It's like
throw
dump half
cards
your
in
dump half
trash.
your deck into your trash. If you hit any of these like 5 cards, you get additional effects. But for the most part, it's dump your deck in your trash, do cool stuff.
Yeah.
And like I think Beelzemon, I think also like Beelstar or like the deck I'm playing, which is the purple Metal Garurumon, which is like with the promo and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that deck is fairly straightforward.
Yeah,
There's
it's all
not
the purple kill options. Yeah.
the only decks that I think would have like genuine like learning curves to them of like how are you actually going to win is I think that purple aggro is actually pretty like with the Cerberus Mons.
Oh, Minerva Loop.
Yeah, and just like you just beat face for 5 turns. I think that deck actually does have a little bit of like a skill gap to it of like knowing what your plays are turn for turn.
I think Bagra falls into that too, because you really have to figure out how those U's work. And it's not hard to figure out, but it's also the timing of stuff with the sound birds and stuff like that, where you really have to figure out the timing of that. And like what you can play Bagra, but it's kind of weird in purple because they don't really. I mean, depends what stack you're playing. Like Bagra might be good against Metal Garuru, but it's not going to be good against something like Beelzemon, where they just die. They just keep swinging. Like they never have more than one body on the board.
Yeah,
you know. I think there's going to be some MVP cards that people just bring with them, to play. Like, obviously, you can play, like, the starter deck, but the starter deck and you bring 4 Jack Raids with you, it's probably a good addition to the deck, right? And then, you're going to see the Eismon package played a lot. There's a lot of, like, key purple things that I think people are going to I think the purple diehards are really going to have the leg up in this tournament for sure. That's one of the reasons why I'm not really trying to get off work to play in it, because that's not my wheelhouse at all. And if you're playing to win, you're going to go up against a lot of purple diehards that know Beelzemon have been waiting for these cards,
Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting tournament. The promos look cool. I'm excited to see it's the first starter deck where we get pre-release cards.
Are you excited to get all the pre-release cards?
Yeah, you excited / nervous. I mean, I've already put out some feelers with some people. Like, I want your cards. If you don't want them, I'll take them. But the stamp looks really cool. It doesn't just say pre-release. It's got the Beelzemon cup. Kind of reminds me a lot of the Pokemon pre-release cards.
Oh, okay.
Really similar, where you have the stamp of the set on there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. The winter card Beelzemon's kind of lackluster in the fact that I don't know if it's textured or not. I don't think the Japanese one was.
I don't know.
It just says winner up the side, so it's like I think it's the first Digimon card that says winner on it.
Yeah.
They took the One Piece kind of treatment and threw it on a Digimon card for the first time.
That's what they do with all of the winner cards for One Piece.
And they have
say
since
winner.
pre-release, the original pre-release just says winner in like almost obnoxiously big font, So, I'll be trying to collect one of everything, but it's going to be a fun event. I'm excited for everyone that wants to go. We already have a lot of interest in the shop. I can't wait to see everyone that, I can't wait to see who wins. Is it going to be someone from the shop, or are people going to come in from, usually what happens with pre-release is people come in from all corners of the Northwest, and jump in. That'll be fun. It's going to
be a blast.
Yeah, it's going to be a good turnout. Are you playing at the one at Wayward?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, you have to text me. Let me know how it's going.
Of course.
Because I'm excited. We also have, elephant in the room. There is a ban list that is dropping today. But obviously, good old Bandai knows our recording schedule and knows that these episodes drop on Friday, but we have no idea what the ban list is going to be. So we're not going to try and predict it or look stupid by saying that we know what the ban list is going to be. But other than Chaos Deck, right? Chaos Deck has to get hit. Is there any for sures that okay, I'm going to pick my for sure. I'm pretty sure that Chaos Deck is going to get hit. What's your for sure?
I think it's the BT11 Greymon.
The Greymon X? Okay.
Yeah, the BT11 Greymon X and Cool Boy. Those are the ones but those that's not a hot take. I'll be honest, if they hit Chaos Deck, there's no reason. I'm going to be so upset.
You going to be mad? Well, how many cards are there that stops Chaos Deck? Just Yuya and Galacticmon, if you really want to get technical.
And Congo.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Congo, you can't
so
recover.
not a lot is what you're saying.
3 black cards. That's it.
Yeah. So if you're any other color, you're not doing well against that. So okay. So no more speculation on that because as of this comes out, everyone's just gonna be like, "Oh, cool, you were right," or "Oh, hey, you were wrong."
Yeah.
But
And we'll know.
yeah, we'll know. We'll know in the comments for sure. Another big announcement they announced was that I guess it wasn't really well known. The announcement, it was kind of a low key thing on the distributor side that some of the shops were informed of. So over the last couple of years, we had store champs with exclusive cards, exclusive promos, and then Bandai made it kind of a big deal. It was like you win a store champ, you get invited to Nats, which you've attended both times, right? One was online and one was this most recent one. You actually went down to LA and there's like 1,100 people there.
Yeah.
Which
store championships have kind of been like their big thing of like where other card games you have to like for Magic you have to like win a PTQ, Pokemon you have to like hit whatever the point meter is on like or in like Yu-Gi-Oh I think you have to win a regional as well or like top X% at a regional. That's one of the things that I think has like made Digimon so like accessible has been the store championships and has been the like everyone has a shot of going to nationals.
Yeah, just play with your friends and you got a shot, right?
Yeah.
So they announced recently, I think just within the last week, that next year's Nats are not going to be qualified by stores, not by store championships, I should say. So, but I think we're still going to have store championships with exclusive cards, but it's not going to qualify you for a Nats.
Yeah.
So why do you think that they did that? Why do you think that change made?
So there were 1,800 people who got nationals invites.
That's crazy.
Only 1,100 people showed up for the event. My thought is that Bandai is going, hey, if this small margin of people are going to show up anyway, cutting away the store champ's ability of getting invites and making it so there was only like 1 or 2 ways you can get an invite really makes it so only your most competitive players are going to events.
Do you think that they had enough room and accommodations to facilitate 1,800 players if they all did show up?
No.
Yeah.
No. We definitely didn't have enough for 1,800, but we had plenty for 1,100.
Yeah.
There was still plenty of room.
But you add 30% more to that, or 40% more to that. Like that's
It would've
a
been
lot of players.
700 extra players is a lot.
Yeah.
Too many.
It'd be crazy.
That's like 11, 12 rounds.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this?
It's tricky because like you want to root for the stores because that's where the support is. Those are the diehard people, the people that run the stores, invest the time, invest the money, provide the space, right? And it really incentivizes people to come out, spend money, participate in these events, travel to these events. I mean, our last store champs, we had people coming from Idaho. We had people coming from like northern Washington, southern Oregon. Like we had people coming from, 4 or 5 hour drives.
Yeah.
Because the invite was what drew them there. And so it was really cool because we got to interact and collaborate with people that are part of the same community that we're in, but actually, they're different. We haven't seen them before. And so we got to be like, what's your meta like? What are you? So it was a really cool community piece where it really incentivized people to come down and travel and be a part of other people's, I don't want to say meta, but as part of their locals. And I don't know if we're going to have that again. I mean, depending on if they can offset the invite with like really cool store champ pricing that make it really worthwhile to come out and win that prize card, then yeah, you're going to get the people that want to come out and really win that card or that prize pack. But that only incentivizes people so far because there's no way that they're going to be able to provide like a store champ card that's going to rival what you could win at a Nats, because those prize cards are like tens of thousands of dollars if you win the whole thing, right? So I don't think it's a great move. I think it's kind of a way for them to save face and be like, we don't want to deal with this many people again because obviously but that's the point. In my opinion, that's the point is they need to get better and realize that this many people want to play this card game and this many people are good at this card game. And we need to be able to provide the infrastructure to support all these people. Like next year, if there's still all those side games and stuff, even if we don't get Nats invites, like a bunch of us still want to go to participate in the side events and hang out and experience all that stuff. So it's like they need to find a way to make it so if 2,000 people want to show up for a tournament, then they can facilitate
2,000 people. Yeah, I agree.
That's the only way that they're going to make the game grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, if Magic can do it, why can't you do it?
Yeah.
You're a multinational company. Just put the money into it. Like, people want to play this game. That's why all those memes from, 2 or 3 months ago is like, is Digimon dead? Obviously not. Like, all these people really want to play this game. It's an exciting game. And they're going to show up and do it. Especially when there's really cool stuff on the line.
Yeah.
But so you can't get into Nats from Store Champ. So how do you get into Nats now?
So as of right now, what we know is that if you place top 16 in an online regional, or an in-person regional, but I think we've only ever had like one in-person regional.
Was that one? It was like
the DC one that I'm thinking of.
I think so. Yeah.
But I think that there was like an online regional.
I think there's been a couple. Yeah.
Anyways, from what I know, the only way you can get an invite now is getting top 16 in a regional, and getting top 16 in a regional is significantly harder than
Store Champ.
Getting going 4-0 and going X and 2 in an 8-round event is a bit different.
Right, because the Store Champ requirements before to qualify for Nats is all you had to have was 8 people in a Store Champ.
Yeah,
which is really small. That's 3 rounds. So you show up and 2 people tie, or you have a bye. If you have 9 people and you get the first round bye in a 3-round tournament, I mean, you're looking pretty good.
Yeah.
So significantly harder to score top 16 in a regionals with how many people usually?
It's like normally like a couple hundred.
Yeah. Which is easily, I mean, and the thing there is that like that's such a huge time investment. So a lot of people are going to be out just because they don't have 8 hours to commit to a regional.
Yeah. There's a significant difference between on your Friday getting off of work at 5, going in and playing at a 6 p.m. Store Championship, and having to call out of work on Saturday because you have an 8-9 hour event to play through.
Yeah.
Those are two like significantly different times. I'm kind of upset by this new change, just because one of the biggest things about Digimon so far that Bandai's done really well in is that it's been accessible for all players. Most of the events have been online, and while there's tons of gripes about online play, at least if it's online, everyone has the chance to play. Not everyone can fly to California to go play in an event.
Yeah.
Not everyone can take that much time off of work. But
and next year's in Vegas, I think. That's what
is
they
it?
Said. I think so. So. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I heard that.
I hope it's in Vegas.
Yeah.
Because one of my like family members is in Henderson, which is right next to Vegas. Yeah, so perfect. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
It like one of Digimon's big things has been easily accessible to all kinds of players. There's not been like a wage limit of like, oh, you have to exhibit this much money into the game to be able to play that, or like having online events that they've had before and having local events that's where you get your invites have made it so everyone has access to go to nationals. Everyone has a chance. Cutting it to online only, like online regionals only, just like I think it just shuts off a big part of your player group that is not going to be able to access it. I think the only way this is going to the only way Bandai does this and it doesn't totally kill their game is like we need at least double or triple the regional events that were like in person and online. Yeah. Like there needs to be like, because like I think last year we only had like 8 regionals I think throughout the year. I might be wrong on that, but like so you need to at least double or triple that number. Yeah. There needs to be more regionals for more chances. I would like if there were more like in-person regionals.
Yeah. That was my point.
And
Is I was going to make is the fact that like a lot of people that ran in our store champs, and even the dude that won our store champs, like he doesn't play online. At least not that I know of. Like not in our Discord. And everyone that I know in our shop plays on our Discord if they play online. But that's maybe 30% of our Digimon community, if that plays online. And it's whether or not they actually like doing that. And on top of that, you know, everyone has the gripes about online because it's so easy to cheat.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
and
when you're in person,
there's players
you
that have been caught cheating in online
left and
events.
right. Yeah. But then they're, you know, you're incentivized to learn how to cheat if you really want to get into that, especially if they're going to narrow that regionals down. You know, how many people are really going to get an invite to Nats after regionals? Like 16 times 8 maybe. So you're going down from like 1,800 potential players down to what, like maybe 150, 200?
Yeah.
You know, that's a pretty small group of people that you're really going to want to get in, which incentivizes people to kind of maybe learn how to fudge the system a little bit or try and do some plays or have some weird camera angles or something like that. It just makes it not fun. Right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like
I think we also, like, you know, needs to be more online events. I think there also needs to be more actual, like, regional events. So have, like, an in-person regional for the Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
Have a couple for the Midwest, like, you know, a North and a South. Have 3 or 4 for the East Coast. Have a West Coast, East Coast. Have, like, I think in going into this year, Bandai needs to have a lot of in-person events and not just have one on the East Coast, one in Texas, one in California. There should be one in Cali. Do one up in Seattle. You can have one, like, you know, a couple in the Midwest.
Yeah.
You can have some in like the East Coast. Like, if you're going to narrow down the chance of getting an invite, you need to give players more chances to actually like be able to go, or else there's going to be, you know, 200-300 people who go to Nats this year, and that's a lot different than 1,100.
Yeah, totally. And on top of that, I mean, I've talked to, the shop owner, Wayward, like me and him are pretty close. And when we started doing Digimon and we started seeing this group of people come and play this loyal, dedicated thing, he's like, he reached out to Bandai because we started seeing these huge events, right? Like the Core TCG, the first in-person one that they did down in Texas, I want to say. That was like the first one. And he was like, I will rent out the space. I will provide the facilities for it. Like, what do I have to do? I saw the multiple emails to Bandai. He's like, I would love to facilitate this. I want to do, I want it to be hosted by me. I would love to do one in the Portland area, for the Pacific Northwest because we don't have one. And they just shot him down. And he's like, I was going to, provide all of it. Like, all they had to do was just say,
sure,
it's going to be here. It's like,
I'll send you the pricing.
We have convention centers here that can house 2,000 people.
Yeah, easily.
And people would come, but they're so tied to like Core TCG and what are the other ones that host
TAK games?
And stuff like that. It's just like they need to relax a little bit and open it up.
Something's gonna have to happen because like there's no way they do that and like still have the player base.
And there's no way he was the only one that tried to do that.
I know.
It's like there has to be people that are just offering to be like, I'll rent this convention center. You send the pricing, send some wall scrolls or whatever you need to do. Like, or we'll have official judges. They have a judge program now. Like, we will provide all the infrastructure, but you just provide the prize support, and you say that this is where it is at this day on your website, and we'll do the rest.
Yeah.
I know. But they have to be more willing to open up to people that are willing to do that rather than just go with the same 3 or 4 providers that they've went with since the game came out.
Yeah.
What were you going to say? Sorry.
No, you're good. I was saying, I know that like, I know like of other stores that have also like reached out to try and be like, hey, we'll host events. I know Mox Valley, which is the event which is the store that hosted the White Omni event like a month ago.
They were great. Yeah.
That was one of the like they purchased the White Omnimons with the purpose of hosting an event for their players and like with the purpose of like they're like, we want to buy this cool card because we're gonna be able to host this event where like players can come and play for this like super cool rare card. It's a way to give back to your community and as a way to kind of show Bandai like, hey, we can facilitate and run these like more important to bigger events. Let us, run an Ultimate Cup or a regional or something.
Yep.
And on like the flip side of that as well, since this announcement has came out, like, and we started reading about it in the Facebook posts and people going, no way, that's real, and like doing them checks. I know many players who have already dropped Digimon after like this happened, or if not dropping Digimon, they've said, hey, I'm not going to take Digimon so seriously. I'm going to go play One Piece.
Yeah. Or Battle Spirits with $1 million prize.
Battle Spirits.
Yeah.
And that's honestly, I think that might be the problem, is I think Bandai with releasing One Piece, like Battle Spirits, Digimon, Dragon Ball. Yeah. I think they have another one that's coming out here soon.
I think so too, yeah.
I think they're like just like releasing all these different games, and I think all of the older games like Dragon Ball and now Digimon, I think we're starting to see the same thing of like getting less price support and like less of the attention going to those, because Battle Spirits with like the $1 million prize, and like One Piece has a ton of big events coming up soon. I think they're putting their attention towards those and kind of ignoring some of the older games, because I know like while the Dragon Ball game doesn't have a huge scene, I know there are still players who play it. I know that like since Digimon came out,
regional,
since Digimon came out, Dragon Ball like didn't get a ton of attention.
Yeah.
And I fear that happening for our game, of like now that these games are coming out, Digimon will get less attention.
Yeah, I feel like Bandai's marketing team is only so big, and like they're growing their IP and their products, but they're not growing their marketing team. So they're trying to like, okay, we have 10 people, and it used to be concentrated on Digimon and Dragon Ball, but now, okay, well now we have One Piece, so we're gonna split 2 of those marketing people off, go here, and then now that the Battle Spirits is coming off, we're gonna split 2 more of them off, and you're gonna go here. And so no, I feel like it's just like how many teachers to the kids in the classroom kind of thing, So I hope that's not the case, because there is such a huge draw, and I think that a lot of stuff is regional. Like when I traveled to Vegas and I went to Chicago and stuff like that in the last couple of years, I went to all the card shops in the area, and every single region has different things that are just huge where they are. Like I went up to Chicago and there was just tons of people that play Dragon Ball. I was just like, okay. And then I went to Vegas and they have a huge Pokemon community down there. I'm like, okay, like that's great. Over here, it's like we have neither of those, and it's Digimon, Magic, Flesh and Blood. Like it's crazy. But I hope that they realize that with 1,100 people flying down, to Nats, that
there's also probably more that were like playing inside events and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a lot of people there were like, I was like, oh, like, what did you play to get your Nats fight stuff? And they go, oh, I didn't get Nats invite. I just came down to play inside events. Yeah. Like there was like, they had 1,100 people who played in the big event. Even more, like there was still more that were just came to play inside events.
Yeah. That's going to be me next time. Especially if it's in Vegas. It's going to be a blast.
Heck yeah.
Well, that's the rundown on that. I mean, I don't know. It's disappointing at the same time. It's kind of just a wait and see,
Yeah.
So hopefully Bandai reacts and makes it welcoming for more and more people. Like, I don't think Nat should be a 200 person thing. I love the fact that it was, because you got to meet a ton of people down there and collaborate and just when you get that many people in one room that enjoy the same thing, everyone has a good time.
Heck yeah.
Speaking of having a good time, I had a good time tonight, and
Me too.
You had a good time tonight. So we're going to talk about what we enjoyed the most, and we're just going to jump right into cards of the week. So what was your favorite card of the week this week?
My card of the week's Andromon X Anybody.
Oh, okay.
I really like that card. It's like the whole reason I built Ophanimon. It's like I'm playing one of them in Mastamon. It's just like a free recovery if you're at 5 or less, and like you're almost always at 5 or less.
Yeah.
Stunning, giving something security tech -1. Like just so many times Andromon X just puts in a lot of good work. And honest to goodness, like I do it in Ophani, and I did it tonight too, where like Andromon X is 8K. So I'll have times where I'll have the security attack +1 Andromon. I'll go into the Andro X, and then I'll throw it in security, and I'll go check 2 at 8K. Yeah. Right? I'm only gonna die to the bigger level 5s and 6s and 7s, but I was gonna die to those anyway. And like a lot of times, Andrew X will eat a rookie in level 4 in security and go, cool. Now I have this, now she's spent it, but I still have an 8K to check 2 security.
And
now
if you
they
have
have
the
to
yellow
deal
car,
with it.
you actually gain memory.
Yeah. No, Andromedic's Antibody is such a cool card. I really like that card, and that's my card of the week.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm going old school with mine because I know it's not the profile I have on the channel, but I've really streamlined Machine Dramon, and I went back to blue base because I'm trying to play around with it because I went away from blue base because I really felt like I needed that digivolving option, to kind of have more level 3, like more black rookies.
Okay.
To be able to do that digivolving in the raising if I wanted to, but with the new analog man,
no,
because you filter so much and you gain so much memory between that and ultimate connections and stuff. I went back to the blue base just so I could kind of just play with the Kaiser Nail. I run a 1 of, but I also was trying to figure out, like, do I go aggressive and play like more Kaiser Nails, or do I play like blue, like kill stuff like Absolute Blast or Howling Crusher, like some of the gotcha cards for the Black War Gray matchup. But we don't play that much Black War Gray in our locals.
No,
like, there's 1 or 2 maybe. So I was just like, I'm just gonna be basic. Like, I'm gonna be a basic bitch, and I'm just like, I already cut out on my level 7 gimmicky shit. Like, I play the 1 Death X, but I was like, what would be really fun? Hammer Spark. I played 2 Hammer Sparks. It did really well for me tonight, and I just had a lot of fun with it. Between Ultimate Connections, the Analog Man, and Hammer Sparks, I was able to hard play a ton of level 6s and go into Chaos Dramons tonight. It was a lot of fun. And Insecurity at past turn, I don't know, like 2 or 3 times tonight. It's a card that people do not expect to see in Machine Dramon. And it's a lot of fun. I've been messing with it in my Ulforce deck too, and it's an old school card. I know it's really basic, and everyone's like, yeah, okay, Hammer Spark, you gain a memory. But it's not something you see that much, especially after Ice Wall came out. And it's just fun. It's 1 free memory,
Heck yeah.
And it when people are trying to choke you, especially in Machine Dramon, where they're trying to choke you at 1, and you just have an easy out, you're like, I'm going to go to 2 with no effort whatsoever. It's really fun. So
that's awesome.
Nothing too crazy there, guys. I'm real basic tonight. You got yours was great. I love that Angel Womon X Antibody. So, all right. Well, that's gonna wrap it up. We have a whole weekend of videos lined up for you guys. If you guys haven't watched, check out the Beelzemon starter unboxing. Tomorrow we're gonna have the finals match from tonight, which was D Brigade against Cross. Yeah. Crazy. We learned a lot during that video. By the end of it, we looked confused, and then after the video, we did the research, and we're like, oh yeah, no, that worked. So make sure you check that out, and stay tuned. We got some more great BT11 / I guess ST14 deck profile videos coming out for you. We got some purple stuff on the way, and stay tuned. Jeff will be back next week, and we'll do some more fun stuff. I know you got some more decks profiles that you want to premiere on the channel.
Yeah.
And everyone say thanks to Neeto for joining us for a couple Two Tamers Talks while our boy Jeff was away across the world.
Thanks for having me out.
Yeah, anytime, man. We'll see you next time.
All right, see ya.